Well, EFF is very concerned about freedom, and we're very concerned about future generations.
I'm Jonathan Bechtel, and I'm an attorney with the Evergreen Freedom Foundation.
For America to be strong, for America to have a future, for us to pass on the American dream to the next generation.
Informed, empowered, and engaged citizens are the lifeblood of liberty.
Hello, this is Julianna McMahon with the Evergreen Freedom Foundation Citizen Action Network. We're here today in Olympia for the property tax rally, and we're asking people, why are you here today?
In this state, people are actually being forced to sell their homes because they can no longer afford to pay the property tax on it. It is the only property or investment we have where we are taxed on value that hasn't been realized. And I think that's just absolutely wrong. We have to change that.
I bought my home in 1955 for just under $10,000. The latest assessment shows from the assessor's office $233,000. And if it keeps on going, even though I retired with a substantial income, I'm not going to be able to stay in my home.
And my husband and I both agree that we think that property tax should be based on what your purchase price is. Similar to what they have in California. Who cares if the people down the street want to pay $500,000 for their house and you've paid $300,000 for yours? That shouldn't affect us, but it is.
You work all your life for the American dream, and then the county wants to take it away from you when you can't afford to pay the taxes anymore.
Because I'd like to not have to move out of the state once we're really retired. Be kind of nice. Our property tax is more than a mortgage payment anymore, monthly.
And I'm a single woman, and I'm trying to keep my home. And it's really, really hard. I mean, it's just terrible. I mean, every year they say how my house is worth so much more, and it's not.
People are being taxed homeless. It affects low-income families, it affects our veterans, it affects disabled, and it affects retirees who are on fixed income.
You know, when you have unrealized gains in property values, it's almost an illusion to try to tax people on those imaginary gains because they haven't seen the money. The IRS doesn't tax you on gains that are not there yet. When you own stocks, you don't pay the taxes on those stocks until you sell those stocks. So as a result, what we have here is tax on something that you haven't realized. And that's wrong. It is a bad system.
Property taxes, I believe, are too outlandish for most people to be able to afford to pay.
Over the years, the citizens have approved, Initiative 722 and Initiative 747, and they had certain expectations that was going to prevent property tax increases more than 1%. Unfortunately, with the courts throwing things out, the confusion by a lot of lawmakers, we haven't got the full protections that we had from Initiative 722 and 747. We haven't fully reinstated that.
Well, property taxes are just like a canary in the coal mine. It's an indication of a bigger problem that exists in this state, that the will of the people is not being honored by the men and women in black across the way.
Property taxes are something that we're all concerned about all of the time. What we want is some sort of guarantee that they're not going to keep going higher and higher without some consistency. The 1% limit is needed. We got that with the special session this year. But also Initiative 722, which was passed by the people in the year 2000, which gets rid of bank capacity and prohibits local government from piling up unused taxation from actually accumulating and being able to be imposed by those local governments on local citizens.
Well, the key thing is if we don't control spending in Olympia, we cannot control taxes in Olympia. So we need to control spending, and we need to return the money currently in Olympia's bank account to the bank accounts of the people of Washington State through property tax relief.